Hello, SpeedGaming viewers, and welcome to Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 4, Week 4. We are in Pilot Keys, and we've got a good race for you today. On the left side, we have Krelble, piloted by 2C, representing OK Game. On the right side, we have Kermit, piloted by Ravis, representing Team Hime. I'm Adalor, flying solo in the comms today. I've got Jinxie Girl on tracking for me, keeping things accurate on the screen, and we'll be getting this match going in just a moment here. The race has begun officially, so once we're through the restream delay, we will have action happening on screen, and we will get started with this race. What we're going to see here is we are in pilot spoiler, so we've got two people on each team. One of them is actually running the seed, and the other one is not playing. They have access to the full spoiler log, and it is their job to get their runner through the seed as fast as possible. You're going to see some, in the very beginning, your runners are probably just going to go do something they can do while the pilot gets into the log and starts trying to figure out exactly where they should go in the early game. Probably start at Sank and check the chest and then walk towards the woods while waiting for information. Or maybe they do Uncle Start. There's a few different things you can do in the opening that gives your pilot some time to start analyzing the log. And we have both of those, actually. So Piece of Heart in the house, and the key is in Sanctuary. For Pod Small. All right, Pod Smalls are nice to pick up. There's Pod Smalls and pilot keys are kind of... It can be tough to figure out how many Pod Smalls you might need a particular seed. So having them instantly picked up can be just very handy when you get them without even trying. Kermit's going to head over, looking a Houlihan opener, which is... you see that a fair bit in pilot keys because it's just a good way to get 125 rupees early on. You need to buy something off Bottle Vendor or just buy bombs in Kakariko for convenience. Good way to get yourself some early money. Krelble opted to take the house south route to go through the 50-50 bushes, picks up one bomb to make sure they've got enough to get anything they might need in the back of the well or the blindside out. And we're going straight for Chicken Hut, actually. And there's our lamp. Nice to have an early lamp. It looks like Kermit's going to take that same route, going to go ahead and go from house and go west, stop by the 50-50 bushes. What I mean by that, there are two bushes in this little cluster here that have a 50% chance of dropping a bomb when you pull them up. He takes one shot at it, says, it's good, we'll just go ahead and buy bombs, so that's fine. You don't want to waste too much time trying to get those coin flips. In Blind's hideout, we have a mirror and a 3-pack of bombs, and we are saving quitting criminal. That's all we have in Kakariko. Kreble's next going to head for the castle. Going immediately for Dark Cross. Even this is This might explain actually the early lamp pickup, because you've got them heading straight for Dark Cross, which by itself with no weaponry, nothing to feel around in the dark, can actually be very perilous, especially on just 3 hearts. But with a lamp, this is a free walk to Dark Cross, and we're going to see what we have in here. Oh, early boots and Dark Cross. Yeah, we're not going to say no to those. That is great from a runner perspective, terrible for the pilot, because now the pilot has to work even faster to keep ahead of their runner. But that's good. Having boots as early as that, it's going to make this a nice quick race, probably, assuming the keys aren't too terrible for us. Crubble's next move looks like he's heading over to the eastern area. And Kermit's likely headed back to Dark Cross to get their boots too. Yeah, right now, like, Crubble's a little bit ahead, but Kermit does have that extra bit of money from doing the hula hen opener, so that's pretty much the big difference here so far. So if they do need money at any point, it might be slightly advantageous on Kermit's side for Team Hime to have to not have to route in like a 300 or something somewhere. So Eastern is a pendant dungeon, so we're not going to see necessarily have to complete this dungeon for its dungeon prize, but obviously there's something in here. We're dipping into Eastern early without a bow. Probably going to find something in, like, Cannonball, for instance. Yep, we're going for it. That's a flute. Wow, look at that. Boots and flute early. This is terrible for a pilot. These runners are going to have all their mobility right off the bat. It's and the mirror no less. So, like, everything is just this is great. It's the three items you want as a runner to just have the best way of getting around the world. Yeah, it's going to be fun for the pilots having to really struggle to keep up. They're both going for bonk rocks here. Got something here, maybe a sword. A glove is good too. All right. Now we are one piece of Dark World access away. We just need, we need a pearl too, but yeah, we'll need a pearl and then another glove or the hammer from somewhere. A little bit of divergence here. Kermit's dropping into Back of Escape while Crubble's running back to Kakariko to activate that flute. Back of Escape has a fire rod, a big key of Turtle Rock, and a big 20. That big 20 is probably an incidental pickup. Oftentimes your pilot will just tell you, go here, without giving you specifics on which chest to open, because they're scrambling to try to formulate an early game route. You'll get incidental heart pieces and big 20s and arrows and stuff like that, because your pilots might send you there for one item and you open 3 chests. But yeah. For all we know, that TR big key might not even be necessary. It may just be an incidental pickup. We'll see. Crubble's fluted to 8, heading into Ice Rod Cave. There's the hammer. All right, we just need a pearl now. I didn't see if he did it, but he might have set up a water walk. He's looking like he wants to go. Ooh, these crabs are terrible. They are. Ooh, okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Yep, looks like he set up the water walk. We're going to see him probably run to Hobo or Waterfall, something like that. Meanwhile, Kermit has picked up a bow from the Sunken Treasure, and we're going to see a peek into Mini Moldrum Cave. With 9 bombs, this should be not difficult to do, assuming the minis aren't super terrible. And there's our pearl in Waterfall and a bomb pack to keep you topped up. Mini Moldrum Cave has a bottle with a B, a small key to Mire. That's pretty incidental. Yeah, it seems like we're just going to go here, get everything. GT small, good to have at least one of those. All right. With an early bottle, that makes me wonder what's on Sick Kid, because you're going to have a reason to go back to Kakariko for the flute activation as well. So it looks like Kermit's probably going to run to get this Ice Rod Cave. Crubble's got a pod small off of Hobo. We've seen 2 of those so far. But yeah, Kermit's going to run up here to Ice Rod Cave, get the hammer, probably head to Eastern to get the flute so that he can do that, activate the flute and pick up Sick Kid at the same time at the second trip to Kakariko. Yeah, I wonder if it seems like an interesting kind of way you want to route this, because you want to put your Kakariko visits together, but also how early can you get the flute and do that and making their trip to Kakariko. There's a lot of factors that go into routing decisions early on that you might have to just, it's hard to calculate those on the fly. You kind of just have to decide one based on feeling and go with it. One route is certainly faster, but it can be hard to tell in the moment which one is actually the better way to go. The pilots are very busy, to say the least, during this period. They have to keep up with their runners and get as far ahead as possible, putting a route together, determining all, especially in keys. Like key sanity makes this particularly interesting because you've got to figure out like how many pods poles you need, where all your, if you need to do anything in Turtle Rock, like how many keys you need for that. Turtle Rock is a pendant this time, so we might not need that many keys for it. We'll have to wait and see. We've got that big key. If we do have something that's locked behind the TR big key, then we're going to need at least a couple of smalls to get to that point. So having Pearl Hammer Glove, yeah, it looks like Kermit's going to head straight for, we might just see a Pod Eastern trip. Yeah, so he's got the bow and the bow, mirror, hammer, glove, pearl. Like, you've actually just got a great setup for doing a Pod Eastern trip. And Pod is a crystal, so we know we have to clear it. We have not that many keys for it yet, though. So it's going to be interesting to see what's actually happening here. I mean, you can clear the dungeon with one key. If you go through the right side with hammer bow, you can accomplish that and literally get back to the boss with just one key. This could be actually just an empty pod, and we're literally coming here just to clear the dungeon for its crystal. Alright, so Kermit just a few seconds ahead getting into Palace of Darkness. We're going to check the shooter rooms. We've got something important here. Ooh, our second glove. Well, there it is. And then Kermit's going to head for the right side. Yeah, so it looks like we've got that glove here, and we may just be clearing the dungeon at this point. Either that, or if we do have more in here that's accessible, we can get it from having traversed the right side and get kind of into the middle. Like if we need to get to Arena Bridge or Stalfos Basement, we can do that from the middle with just one key. Kermit's gonna be careful with arrows here. Okay, just enough to pull it off. Missed one of them, but that 5-pot provides just enough to take care of the room. Otherwise, Crubble will have to do the exact same thing here. Neither of these two have been given an arrow drop. Actually, no, he's going to just hammer the green ones. That's better safety. And then you've got 5 arrows to spend on the red. Okay, there's an incidental heart piece there, and a bow-locked bow and pod. How about that? And we are exiting the dungeon for now. Okay. And proceeding into Eastern, Kermit will for the flute. Yeah, we're not clearing pod at this point. Oh, we don't have the big key. Duh. Okay, I should know that. My bad. Of course, we're not clearing pod. We have to get the big key from somewhere else. But early silvers, not bad, especially when we're still swordless. Silver arrows can kill a lot of things. It's gonna be a nice weapon for until they can get more things that aren't a hammer. The hammer is okay. It's a great weapon. It does tempered sword damage, but it's a terrible range on it. There's our hook shot in King's Tomb. Yeah, this appears to be a forced double dip of pod, considering the mitts and shooter room. But then the big key is most likely going to be behind them somewhere, because the mitts they do a lot in this game. Right, so these two are still on pretty similar routes here. Kermit picking up his hook shot as well. Probably going to run over to Kakariko now, get the flute activated, as well as go to Sick Kid and see what that bottle's going to turn into. That could have been an incidental pickup, but I don't think we got anything else really big out of Mini Molder. So I'm curious what that's going to turn into here. I have not yet availed myself of the log, though I could do so. So everything is currently a surprise for me. I like to look at it, but not always. All right, Kermit's activating the flute. Crubble's having a little bit of trouble with the ropes here. Down to 1 heart. Got to be careful with them. Definitely don't want to take any overworld deaths in a situation where this could be very tight on time. He's going to take the option using the silver arrows to kill the Gibdos. They are dropping arrows. That's nice. All right, what's on set kit here? Flippers. Ooh, okay. Flippers being picked up when we have a pendant swamp. That is curious. I dare say particularly suspicious. Oh, yeah, that happens, Grubble. You've got that Gibdo in the doorway. It probably won't move. You need to hit it with something. You can't use the hammer from the doorway. That Gibdo is often terrible without a sword. I was going to try the room again. There's clearly something very important here because we're doing this. Meanwhile, we've got a little more still divergence happening. Kermit is actually getting into Paradox Cave using that hook shot heading up the mountain. We're going to see what we've got in Paradox 5. Small key to Turtle Rock in the middle of Skull. Okay. And there's our Aganis Tower big key on Kermit's side. I think that's what that was. Yeah. Small key to Pod. All right. That's all we've got. Carmel's going to take the magic refill from the middle pot here, or Skullwoods here. Just bomb that wall. There's a full magic pot behind it. Very nice if you know you're going to head back and take care of Moth in the near future. Which appears to be where we are headed. And while Kermit is now climbing up through Super Bunny. And we're going to see a look at the Skullwoods bridge chest as well. And we got our first sword in Super Bunny, as well as a small key to Desert. As the right side Desert key, Crubble has found a Bombos medallion in the Skullwoods bridge chest, and is not killing Moth at the time. Actually, he doesn't have a sword, so he cannot deal with Moth. That's true. Early Bombos. Is that going to be... Well, actually, no. We do have that... Okay, so that Bombos medallion opens Ice, or Ice Palace as well. We've got a Fire Rod for Ice, though. Without half magic, you may, if you're doing an early Ice dip, you may want to have that Bombos handy for starting the Cold Stare fight. But yeah, we do definitely need that for Mire opening, at the very least. Having read that in early makes me wonder what we might find in Mire relatively early. Desert Palace big keys. We've got both our desert keys now. And on Kermit's side in Spiral, we've got our second sword. 2 swords on the mountain. Hello. We're starting to get equipped on weaponry here. We don't have much in the way of health, though. Crubble has yet even pick up 1 additional heart, and Kermit just has 1 collected so far. Yeah, it looks like we're heading for Mire. This is... where's Samaria? Because I mean, we're not completing Mire without Samaria, that's for sure. Maybe it's in Desert. Maybe it's in Mire Shed. We'll find out, won't we, in the near future? And it looks like Kermit's going to go ahead and do that trip into Skullwoods here, too. Mire Shed has a small key to Swamp Palace. All right, so with Flippers and the Swamp Small, we're definitely digging independent for something. Just a matter of what. Yeah, I kind of... At this one, I kind of like Kermit's route for Skullwoods a little bit better because, like, you're not making a second trip back here to deal with Moth later. Like, they can actually just take care of it, assuming you can handle like a 4-heart Master Sword Moth, which that is a tall order, honestly. But we'll see if they go for it. Rebel, meanwhile, is heading straight to the back of desert, not bothering with anything in the front so far. We do have that desert small key, so it's very possible we still see him go into the front and get to the right side. Alright, so Krebel has 6 fire rod shots and 6 silver arrows. This should be a relatively easy land mollusk fight. It looks like Kermit's going to go ahead and take 1 heart and an almost full magic meter and just go back to... Well, you get some hearts here. Yeah. I'll have a full magic meter and like 4 hearts. Yeah, we'll be okay. Land mollusk had a small key to Turtle Rock and our first crystal on the board for our OK game. Kermit does need to get this this small key off the Gibdo to get through the door. He's trying to do it without taking as little damage as possible. Gets through it with only 1 hit, so that was okay. Get 1 more fire rod shot from this pot here, and we will drop down into Moth, and hopefully just have a smooth Moth fight. Yeah, Moth with this equipment is extremely tense. If you take one of the beams, you're going to take 2 hearts. If 2 of those hearts are gone, oh wow, that's it. Yep, that'll do it. That was actually a not terrible Moth. The RNG was fairly good, and Kermit navigated it quite masterfully, I gotta say. And that's 1 crystal for them on the board. Rebel is stopped off to get the items out of Mini Moldorm Cave, fluting back to Kakariko. Gonna turn in the bottle to get the flippers, I believe it was. Yes. And then he's got his flippers and the Swamp Small from Meyer's Shed. I wonder if we're gonna see a dip into Swamp. Yeah, he's fluting to 4. Ooh, he did not get that Bombos Medallion. I mean, we're not doing Meyer right now. That seems like they forgot to grab that, though, from the bridge chest. That'll be a little bit of time taken later to go ahead and to have to get that again. And yep, we are indeed seeing a Swamp Dive now on Krebel's side. Alright, so we have the ability to clear the dungeon. We've got everything we need for it. Hammer, mirror, hookshot, flippers. I wonder how far into Swamp we'll actually have to go. Aha. Okay, so we're seeing actually a fairly smart what's the word for it? Kind of a bit of cleanup here, realizing that yes, we left the Bombos Medallion behind, and that portal is still back there because of doing a death out of the Meyer area. So you can actually just hit it here, come back in, and get that Bombos Medallion. Yeah, that's pretty much the smartest way to get back here and clean this up, given exactly how the game state is right now with the portal still being there. So, any other time doing this was just going to take more time to do it, so you got to get that medallion, now's the time. As chat section about the pilots, so just to confirm, on Krebel's side for OK Game, we have 2C as his pilot. And on Kermit's side for Team Hime, we have Ravis piloting. Kerbal down to half a heart in Swamp. I mean, you still have 3. You haven't picked up any additional hearts yet. We are living on the edge. You're gonna find a good way to hit that switch with your equipment. Gonna opt for a bomb. Be extremely careful that Stalfos doesn't wander into you while you're pushing the... Yeah, look, he's going for it. He wants it. You can tell Krubble knows the moment he starts to push the lever that Stalfos is like, I'm gonna get you. Nope. Please don't. Okay, so this is interesting. We are not getting the trench key, and we're also not hitting the switch. So whatever is on the left side here is that we apparently don't need to go to the back, and it's just the left side chest. This is one of these peculiarities of pilot spoiler routing, especially with keys in particular. Well, I mean, Swamp doesn't really care about its keys. You only get one key up front, but knowing if you're going in for just one chest in kind of a specific situation like this, you can save some time. That's our Quake medallion. It looks like we're visiting Turtle Rock today, considering we have some keys for it and now the medallion that gets us in. Pendant TR is going to have some progression for us today. Ooh, that was unfortunate. If Trouble kept dashing to the transition, he might have made it through, but that zero kind of juked back over and just barely nudged him. That's not a terrible death. Like, he's kind of in the area here. It might be, he's just fluting now. It might be a slight reroute, but just going to head up the mountain now. Okay. Yeah, overworld deaths are always going to hurt to some measure, but that one wasn't. I don't think it was awful, because you're relatively near the Dark World portal there if you wanted to get back in and go for something. But we're going to head for the mountain now. A little bit of terrible bit of Dead Rock RNG. Looks like Crubble's going to be headed over for Paradox, get a couple swords off of Super Bunny and wherever the other one was, Spiral, I think. And then Kermit's going to do the same here, getting into Swamp Palace to go get that Quake medallion. Yep, just so right now we've seen diving into Pendant Swamp, so having to get the Swamp Small and the Flippers in order to acquire the medallion for another Pendant dungeon. So far, Keys is just doing Key Sanity things, making us dive into a bunch of extra dungeons for progression. One more check here, Krubble. Yeah, I think there's a third thing here you want. A small key to pod. Yeah. It seems like we're gonna have more in pod that's gonna be acquired on the second dive, because so far we had just enough keys. Like, we had the one small key that's gonna be good for just the minimum to get to the boss. It could also be just picking up a key that's kind of there, because it'll be just faster to get go up the middle, open the main door, and go straight back to the boss in a faster fashion than having to go through bow side again. We'll see. Kermit just picked up something off the mushroom. I actually missed what it was, so I'm going to look. Oh, just a potion. Okay. No, we don't have the mushroom yet. Never mind. I thought I saw a mushroom turning. Buying potions before Ice Palace. If there's one dungeon you want like a magic potion of some sort in your pocket for, it's Ice Palace. Krubble is now getting into Hera. We're going to see a very nicely done super speed Hera pot, a little bit of select buffering just to line it up properly. Not checking anything in the main floor. We're going to head straight for the compass chest because we don't have the big key. That's a cape. A cape. Interesting. And we are also heading up to take care of the Moldorm. Tower here is a crystal. So we were going to at least get the prize here, if not something cool off of Moldorm himself. 3-heart spike cave time. Yeah, possible. With cape, you're going to need more than that. You're going to need some more magic. But yes, with having a bottle and the cape, that is enough because you can go get a magic refill. Ooh, convenient powder off of a boss we have to kill. Powder's a great safety item, especially later in the game when you have dungeons that are riddled with anti-fairies. Kermit pulling off a very nicely done Ice Palace bomb jump. Not having Samaria means we have to do ice kind of the old-fashioned way. The way we used to break this dungeon before Icebreaker was discovered. See what we got in Freezor Room. We've got... Ooh, there... Speaking of Samaria, there it is. Not even possible to do Icebreaker today, considering the Samaria is just buried in ice itself. Now we're going to head down to fight Cold Stare. Rubble's got a sword now from Spiral Cave. We'll be getting a second one out of, I believe, Super Bunny shortly. Alright, so here's one of the worst parts, honestly, of Pilot Keys, is the Cold Stare fight. If you have to fight Cold Stare, you're probably doing it with terrible equipment. If there's one fight that's just the worst, it's probably this, honestly. Ooh, didn't get quite the perfect fire rod splash you wanted there in the corner. He does have that blue potion. I think at some point... Ooh, that was a... He got 2 puffs down, actually. Okay, that's more damage than I thought. Having only 1 puff left, this is probably just going to be okay. Just play it safe, wait for spins, try to get him against the wall if you can get a double hit. Ooh, don't take another ice hit, please. Okay, we're okay. Cold Stare. It's such a tense fight. Like I said, probably the worst part of any pilot spoiler keys race, but we're through it. It's okay now. We can relax. Crumble has found another heart finally in Hookshot Cave. We're up to 4, and that's all we want in here. Okay, wait, no? Oh, okay, the pot heart, got it. We've determined that's all we need on the mountain. We're going to float away. Simultaneous floating. Where are we going? Rubble's headed to 2. Probably going to pick up some magic of some description. And looks like Kermit is now headed to 6. Rubble not having as much money here opts for just a green, which is fine. Yeah, looks like Kermit's going to head and do the back of desert, take care of the landmows. And Crumble will be dipping into Ice Palace, looks like. Kind of runners retracing now. Pilot tends to... there tends to be kind of an ideal route. In certain seeds, you will see not really much divergence. If things just kind of lay it out to where there's a really kind of obvious ideal route, then it turns into like a kind of a pure execution battle in terms of what the runners are doing versus each other. This one's had some options, giving you some choices and said you can do things in sort of different order. And that's why we have these two kind of retracing now, doing things the other runner has already done. So while we're in a moment of watching them retrace each other's steps, I'll throw their Twitch links up in the chat. If you like what they're seeing, feel free to give them a follow. These two are honestly pretty good runners. As you see on the screen, they're both at 9 points in their division. I was looking at their division earlier. Let's see. They've got a really interesting division laid out so far. So the Misery Mire division, which these teams are in, they've got 3 teams on top right now with 6 wins each. There's kind of this like 3-way battle for first. And then you've got one team that has 4 wins, and then these two both have 3 wins. So like one of these wins, like winning this one, I'm thinking like right now is just gonna put you like 2 wins behind that pack of 3 at the top. And honestly, at this point, may kind of like be like a really crucial win towards staying in playoff contention, considering we are in week 4 here. Yeah, it looks like we're headed back into Skull Woods for something. Do we have the big key? No, I don't have the big key. What is back here that we're missing? Ooh, Krubble having a tough time with the Ice Palace bomb jump. Oof. Oh, did we not pick up the middle chest? I was not... Oh, maybe... Oh, they saved the middle chest for after Samaria? I mean... That's fair. I feel like if you're gonna get this, you still want to do it while you're here, because having to make another run back into Skull Woods for the TR small there is feels a little bit suboptimal. So it looks like we have 2 Turtle Rock small keys so far. We will need... let's see. So we don't know what we need for Turtle Rock. It's a pendant dungeon. We might not need to go all the way to the bottom. 2 small keys would be enough to get you to the like the big chest, for instance, because we have that big key as well. It's entirely possible that like TR big has something in it. Now, if we pick up a 3rd TR small, then we have to wonder what's on Trinex. We don't have an ice rod yet, however, so Trinex is not currently on the table. There's our Mire big key and Graveyard Ledge. We do need that for later, yes. We can now actually complete Misery Mire. We have 1 external small key on Team Hime's side, so they can do a little bit faster routing in the dungeon. You don't strictly need any keys from outside of Mire to complete it, but having 1 can help. Especially if you need to go to any other chests in the dungeon to find something. Yeah, right now a 3rd TR small would put us in the realm of what's on Laser Bridge. If we find the 3rd small and the Ice Rod, then we're going to be like, what's on Trinex? Ooh, Kermit taking a death there. Once again, showing us that overworld deaths are costly. And that sometimes this game has just terrible RNG. Alright, so Krubble is getting down to the lower depths of Ice Palace, has acquired his Cane of Samaria. Kermit has had a dead rock stuck precisely in the middle of the path. Can't do anything about that. Gotta wait for it to soften up so you can get through. Dead rocks are terrible. Considering we have a 5-heart maximum, he's going to stop off and get 2 of those hearts back, just so you don't get beamed up trying to get up the mountain here and take more hits from rocks. Like that. Like you hook shot into that rock and that dead rock's like, no, I got you. Alright, Krubble, let's see how you do with Cold Stare here. Very similar equipment. 4 hearts, so you basically have like 1 hit of lenience. Not getting ideal fire rod splashes either. Seems like the altitude variable was not set correctly for the fight. I don't know. I didn't notice if either of them reused the flute as they were entering ice to reset the altitude variable for fire rod splashes. But Krubble has opted to use that green potion to just say, I'm going to take this fight safe, get my magic meter back, get 8 more fire rod shots, and clean it up. And that, I feel like, is honestly the best thing you can do. It's also pretty fast compared to having to wander around with 3 puffs still going, waiting for like ideal spins to hit multiples of them while dodging the ice and everything. Just use that green potion. Take care of the fight. We can move on and not die to Cold Stare. Nobody wants to die to Cold Stare. It feels awful. It takes a long time to get back down into the fight if you die. All right, so that's 3 crystals for OK game. Krubble's now floating to the mountain. We might be following Kermit's route as Kermit's heading into Turtle Rock. So now we get to see what the heck is going on in TR, a pendant TR of all things that we'd have to collect 2 small and the big key. And the Quake Medallion, which was in another pendant dungeon, left side swamp. Gotta be careful with these chomps. They will bite you hard enough to kill you on 4 hearts. Yeah, Krubble did not have the Samaria either. Yeah. But you kind of needed to get some swords for Ice Palace. I mean, No, I mean, you could technically do Ice Palace without a sword, and you have the Bombus Medallion, but that sounds worse, honestly. All right, so it looks like we are headed for the big chest here. It's kind of my feeling. Like, what's on? Ooh, oh, took the laser, dropped the bomb, and left, trying to pick it up, and ate the laser. This is a rough seed. These two having literally 4 and 5 hearts respectively is showing you just how tough spoiler can be. When you're trying to go as fast as possible and optimize your route, you're skipping safeties all over the place. If you even have hearts available, like it's such a careful balance of how much extra health and stuff do I get versus how much time do I need to save to win this race. So right now they're it's still honestly pretty close. They have 3 crystals each. I would say, in terms of dungeon completion, Team Hime is a little bit better off because you can get to Hera and clear it relatively fast compared to getting to the back of Skullwoods and dealing with Moth. But it's still a relatively close race. All right, so Kermit getting back here, going to take another shot at getting out of the laser wall room. No problems this time. Quick swapping to the hook shot, so I imagine we're going straight for the big chest. What's in here? A big key to Thieves Town. All right, yeah, we do need that, correct. And it looks like we're actually going to proceed back to Crystal Roller. So unless if there's not a small key here, this is the last stop we're making in TR. Crubble is right behind him. Another big key to pod. Yeah, we need that one too. Yep, there's our pod big key we were talking about earlier. Crubble, what you doing? Oh, you want to go the other way? What are you doing? A moment of confusion, perhaps. Bro, which chests need to be picked or something? Nope. Get those big keys and gather. All right, Kermit's fleeted back to 3 using the village portal. I'd imagine we're heading straight for Thieves Town, having acquired the big key for it very recently. All right, so what's in Thieves today? We're not getting the first chest. Let's see. Gun one hit on both sides, says chat. Potentially, let's see. What do we need? We have our key for pod. We got our key for thieves. Skull's done. We got our Mire key. Yes. I mean, it's starting to look like it might actually just be in go mode here. Yeah. Relatively close go mode times for both of these teams. And now it's just a matter of getting through the rest of it as fast as possible. Yeah, I mean, technically you're in go mode the whole time, or actually you could say you're in no mode because the pilot knows where everything is, but we can still say go mode in strict terms of getting the items you need to actually finish the game, which we do have. So I think right now, assuming nothing else happens in terms of like execution, deaths, or whatever, still think Kermit has a little bit of a lead here, considering. I don't know. Maybe Crubble's gonna go right from Thieves, probably to clean up Skullwoods, take care of Moth, and Kermit does have to climb the mountain to get to Hera. But Kermit can also last dungeon Hera. You can just go to Hera and then mirror into GT. Yeah, I think Team Hime has a little bit of a lead here, but it's hard to say exactly how much. We're gonna have to wait and see once we're actually like closer, like maybe just getting into Ganon's Tower in terms of what the exact lead is here. Yeah, So where's our other swords? That's a big question. Where is anything? Where are our safety items? Where are the hearts? I wonder how many hearts they've skipped already, if any, because like having 4 and 5 respectively, there are, let's see, there are 11 full hearts in this game. You've got 10 from bosses and 1 sank heart. So if you, like, 11 hearts scattered around the game, there should be some accessible somewhere, you'd think, which makes you just wonder. All right, here comes Kermit's blind fight. We are 3 hits into the script so far, looking good. 6 hits still on script. Should be pretty good for the last 3 here. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Oh, that was... got a little bit off on 7, and then the last... I mean, you always say that like the first 6 hits on the script are the most important, and they are, but when you're on like 5 hearts and taking a hit from one of the heads will deal 2, like you could just... the fight can just be lost really fast here. So Krubble does have the cape and like about 3/8 of a magic bar here. All right, so we're gonna see how Krubble does with his blind fight. That cape may just end up, if he gets off script at any point, that cape will probably be a lifesaver. Let's be honest. 7, 8, and 9. Much better looking fight, yeah. And unfortunately for Kermit now, we are on unscripted blind. He's doing a very good job of dodging. Ooh. Ah, there you go. Okay. Whew. So unscripted blind with this equipment is much more terrible because you have to just kind of deal with it. You have to dodge like a professional. You're playing bullet hell, and having sword beams is actually one of the best things for unscripted blind because you can stand across the room and just fire at them, firing upwards. Get your hits in. Keep keeping your distance, and it gives you a lot more flexibility for dodging fireballs. It's nice. All right, so I was gonna say like, this might be shifting kind of back into Krubble's favor, but Kermit did clean that up on one more attempt at blind. So Kermit might still have a lead here, but it's definitely diminished. All right, I think Krubble's headed to Graveledge to get, I think it's the Mire Bag here. And then Kermit is going to head over to Pod to go ahead and get that dungeon cleaned up. Just having a moment of contemplation. And get the flute out. Maybe. I'm going to get the flute out. Nope, I'm going to go back to Dark World. Looks like they're going to probably head back for Skull Woods, I'd imagine, because you're already in the Dark World, you're relatively close. You can just run back and take care of it. Smart play by Kermit, both in getting the hearts so that you're less close to dying, but also if you have sword beams for the basement of Pod, it's very convenient because you don't have to do any weapon switching to hit the switch. You can just throw a sword beam at it and continue on as fast as possible. And now Krubble will get into the back of Skull Woods to take care of the Mothula. This is going to be another terrible fight here, still with now 2 hearts. You can pick up a couple hearts here in the stars and pits and pots room, whatever you want to call it. Kermit showing off a very good Turtles room. If you want to learn a strat for the Turtles room in the bottom of Pod, do it like that. It's very quick. Krubble opts to take a fire rod shot for the Gibdo to get that key really fast. Did I just name a room? I'll take it. I wasn't expecting to name a room today. All right, Crubble. Good luck on Moth. Oh. Incidentally, before while we were in the warm up time, getting the crops and everything, I was watching Crubble, and he was in this room just kind of playing like dodge the moth. He was just practicing, just like dodging everything, not actually trying to attack moth, just staying alive as long as possible. So he's had some recent practice, and it pays out. Good job with the Mothula. We're gonna have Kermit hoisting up a crystal from Pod. Trouble's got one from Skullwoods. Hello, 2C. Are you spoiling the spoiler for us? Welcome to 2C Plus in the chat, one of our Kerbals tracker. So here's a highlight of spoiler mode that the runners and pilots are allowed and welcome to join in the chat if they so desire. They're also allowed to watch opponents' streams or the restream if they so choose. It's just a feature of spoiler. You can actually know at any time how your opponent is doing, and it can actually be useful information, especially when you have a pilot that can do it. Your pilot can watch your opponent while you're focusing on execution, and tell you kind of like if you want to know whether you're ahead or behind, how much wiggle room you have to pick up potential safety items, stuff like that. Like if you know you're like a minute and a half ahead or something, and you're about to flute to the mountain to go climb GT, you can be like, I have time to go to the potion shop and refill just for some additional safety, stuff like that. All right, so you have both runners getting into Misery Mire. We have silver arrows, so this is going to be a very easy victorious fight once they get back there. And it looks like we've got nothing in Mire that's even interesting. Not any hearts or anything. They're just going straight for the back. Yep, I think if there's anything in Mire, it's going to be on Victorious himself. Actually, Crubble's opting to take the spike chest here. We got a heart. Yay, Crubble's got 5 hearts now. Nice. Leveraging having that cape, using it to pick up another heart when it's right there, you might as well. Whereas Kermit getting that heart would have left him at like 1, maybe 2, if he managed to get only 3 hits on the spikes. So that cape is just kind of, it's helping. I don't think did Kermit have the Mire Big key when we were here doing the desert things? I don't think we had the Mire Big that earlier, because the Mire Big was in Graveyard Ledge. So I think that's the main reason we didn't see Mire earlier. Oh yeah, also the TR small limo. It's a good point from 2C. We did need to TR small keys for progression. All right, that's a very easy, victorious fight from Kermit, showing off just how powerful the silver arrows are. You're not supposed to have them for this fight in vanilla, but in rando, we are happy to leverage them to make this fight very, very easy. Get an arrow refill for your troubles. Nice. Trouble's got his Mire Crystal as well. All right, so the race is now Crubble has to go clean up Pod, whereas Kermit gets to go up the mountain and actually just go straight for Hera. And then after Hera, mirror back to Dark World and get into GT. So overall, it appears that Team Hime is in a substantial lead here. Ooh, there's another heart on Bottle Vendor. 6-5. That's the advantage now in hearts. 6-5. We already have our GT big key as well, and two or one small keys, depending on who you are. So this is going to be a pretty easy GT. We're not going to have to hunt for a key inside. Like we've had some of these pilot races that have just put a GT big key like in relatively vanilla spots. I think I saw one that was actually behind our Ice Armos. So Key Sanity sometimes does this. It decides it wants to make you play your GT like a normal seed, like a non-Key Sanity seed, but not this time. Kermit's going to go ahead and set up a bomb method for the Harapot and gets it in one try. Very nice. Harapot's one of those tricks that there are a bunch of different ways to do it. Lots of different specific bomb placements, setups for it. You can also just super speed it and go that way. But no matter how you do it, stick with whatever is like you can do consistently fast. Whatever works for you. Just get a good method that you know you can do. Because the end goal is the same: to get in that pot and get yourself up to the second topmost floor. And 3 spins to Moldorm, not even a problem here. Get your free powder and your 7th crystal. And get ready to mirror just outside so that we can get into GT. Yeah, I think if you're a team OK game over here, you're hoping that Kermit falls a bunch on Moldorm, but no such luck here. All right, so 2C has told us we're getting some stuff here. I'm wondering if they're actually just on the GT climb, or if we're going to have to make a little divergence. Yep, so look, we're going to make a quick trip to the left side. There's our 3rd sword on the torch. Nice. Ganon is now basically an easy fight with tempered swords and silvers. There's a 2nd small key from the pot so that we don't have to deal with the Helmasaur room, the mini Helma room. And we will now start the climb. So there's going to be the next few minutes is going to be pure execution. And this is tough, too, because you're looking at 5 hertz green. You do not have much wiggle room on this GT climb. You've got to be really, really perfect here. This is a situation in which one mistake can cost you literal minutes. If you die on the climb, it's just don't die on the climb. That's my advice. Does Kermit know tempered silver's Ganon, though? Please. Alright, Kerbal's got his 7th crystal. He's hit up the mountain. We're going to be getting into GT in short order from him. He's going to be a little bit behind on time here, but like I said, this GT climb in particular, with 6 and 5 hertz respectively, still on green mail. I'm guessing the armor is up here on the climb that 2C told us we're getting. So it's this lead can change, absolutely. Especially through Gauntlet, where we don't have, let's see, Kermit has 2 bottles. I don't know if he has any healing in either of those, but we're not getting any potential healing until, at the very least, before Land Mode 2, where you can use the powder on the Bunny Beam. He's actually getting through Gauntlet really well here. Re-enabling the silvers to fight Lambo 2. 1, 2, and... Ooh, misses the 3rd one. Recovery? Yeah, there you go. Good job. Still gets the 1 cycle. Just 1 silver arrow left. You'll have to pick up a few here. Yep, good idea. 6 will be enough for Ganon. Into Wizard's 1. Nicely done. Kerbal is now opening GT. Spin those 7 crystals around. Get that staircase to come down. Kermit have a bit of bad luck on the bridge. Managed to not have an unfortunate circumstance there. Let's see if Bridge 2 is kind on the RNG. It is. That second bridge can be very terrible. You just try to dash through it and bad RNG happens and you get pushed off of it, take a bunch of damage. When you have 3 hearts to spare, you really don't want that to happen. Couple bonks his third sword off the torch and decides that 1 key is enough. Or yes, 2 keys. That's right. You get an extra GT small. We have 2 keys is plenty enough. We're going to do the climb. I like how Crubble also has exactly 0 rupees. I wonder if we're finishing with 0. He doesn't get an initial rupee drop. We could have perfect 0. All right, Kermit's getting into pre-Moldorm chest here momentarily. We'll see if the armor is here or actually at the Moldorm chest. Looks like it's in the Moldorm chest. It's also possible that he might just not get it because so Ganon, the Ganon fight is, let's see. So if you take a Ganon hug on green mail, it's 8. On blue mail, it's 6. So blue mail does not save you anything there. Yep, there it is in Moldorm chest. The phase 4 fire bats are not affected by armor, but possibly the phase 1 and 2 bats are. So that might still help. Or I'm sorry, just the phase 2 bats. The phase 1 trident, I had to look at the trident damage. I don't know what it does, but perhaps it's helpful. It's quick enough to pick up. You're just going to do it, yeah. All right, here's our Aga 2. We missed a hit there. Ooh, look, this is really desynced already. This is kind of... okay, got 2 hits there. This is actually getting to the point where it's inconvenient. Oh, that still hit even when it was popped up? Wow, that was extremely well handled by Kermit, despite the crazy amount of desync that happened between the phases. He still managed that fight very well. Very, very well done. All right, Crubble's through Lambo 2, climbing as fast as we can. While Kermit is flying from the tower, about to drop into the pyramid and fight the Ganon. This is our final point of... just got to execute masterfully, just get through the fight, and just do it. Just kill the Ganon, that's all you got to do. I think he's a little bit short for the 1-1 here. Yeah, didn't quite get the 1-1, so we're going to have a 2-cycle phase 1. He's not in a great position to even get a 2-cycle or 1-cycle phase 2, so we're going to have a 2-2 most likely here, yeah. He's opting to stay inside the circle and do these dashes. Pretty sure we have enough hits by now. We'll have to hook shot out carefully. Ooh, oh no! Tried to walk out, sneak out of the circle, and got hit by it. Oof. Crowell has no magic for the anti-fairy, but he doesn't need it. He's at 6 hearts, that's all he has. Alright, attempt number 2 come from Kermit here. Oh, we got the early catch. This is going to mess up another attempt at 1. Yeah, it's going to be another 2-cycle. Same position, too. Again, is not being kind on the RNG. If he goes in one of the closer to the corner where he has a gap between him and the corner, you can actually just get in there and do spins inside and get a easy 1-cycle phase 2. But Kermit's going to have to deal with another 2-2 here. All right, Crubble, how are you going to handle this Aga 2? This is kind of a wild pattern. And Kermit is now into phase 3. Gotta be... Ooh, please be careful. He has a blue potion. He's going to use it. Good idea. Ooh, Crubble. I think if Kermit did that Aga fight well, Crubble did it even better, honestly. Like, that was... My mind is blown at how well both of these runners handled that Aga 2. That was just crazy. Like, just showing off that just the little repositioning and adjusting to how the pattern develops and keeping up with the desync and just like That's how you do Agatu. All right, Kermit's in phase 4 Ganon. Just 3 more silver arrows to go. 1 more to go. Assuming nothing bad happens, we're going to have a game. And that's it. Ganon is exploding. Get your GGs in chat for Team Hime. Going to be coming in first place assuming we get across the 1x3 bridge with no issues. And that is a first place finish for Kermit and Ravis of Team Hime, coming in with an official time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 34 seconds. We're going to keep our eyes on Krello for the moment. He's getting through Ganon phase 2. I think he's got enough hits for phase 3. Yes. Okay, gets that first hit in before any fire bats can come out. Well done. Just 1 more hit in phase 3, and we'll be on to phase 4, which should be relatively quick. Again, tempered silvers makes this fight really quite fast. There's 1. Gonna try to get a, you can get a double. Oop, didn't quite get the hit. 2 more hits to go. And there's our last silver arrow on Crubble's side. Ganon is exploding. We'll get his official time in a moment once he is across that bridge. And there we are. OK Game has finished with an official time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 56 seconds. We will have to hang out here for a minute and see if we want to get anyone in to talk with us for a few minutes about how this seed went. Hello, Krelble. GG's to you.
Hello, hello. Thank you for the GG. I'm glad it was a close race.
Yeah, that was definitely close. It was it was hard to say exactly what kind of a lead we were looking at through most of it, because there was actually a lot of divergence here. You two took some significantly different routes in terms of which dungeons to clean up when to get the early flute. I thought that early flute was going to be like more of a big deal, but it was yeah. There's just there were some choices to make in the seed for sure.
Yeah, I was kind of talking through it a little bit with 2C after the fact. Kind of our routing style is when we're in the middle of the run. We don't really discuss the I guess broad strokes. 2C kind of tells me what I need to know and focuses. But then afterwards, we got a brief moment to chat, and it sounded like the Samaria kind of threw a wrench into some of our plans with the stuff that was in TR and then heading up to the mountain. But then, oh wait, we can't do TR because we don't have Samaria, and Samaria is a nice palace. And so that kind of threw a bit of a wrench into our routing. And then also Ice Palace bomb jump, man. It's free every time unless you need to do it first time.
Yeah, I was that Ice Palace bomb jump hurt. I'm like, it's
yeah. I even attempted to buffer the one that when my life depended on it, but yeah, single frame movement. It's tough.
It's really tough. Yeah. And we are joined by the rest of our runners and pilots here. GG's, Kermit, Ravis, and 2C+.
GG. Glad it was as close as it was.
Yeah, that this was a heck of a seed to route. Yeah, the Samaria really was, as you said, Kerbal, like kind of a wrench, because you have to get that at some point from ice, but ice is a terrible dungeon, and you have to get into it, and you're not going to want to do ice without full clearing it. So you got to be like, how much equipment do I need? And then you got to get stuff from a pendant dungeon to get to another pendant dungeon for progression. It's just like it's
Both maze and
yeah.
GT.
Yeah.
All the bad things.
This
was the lowest percent seed that I've ever run by a pretty considerable margin. It was I was saying to 2C as we were running it, I'm like, obviously it's kind of we're losing time to me struggling here a bit, but disregarding that, man, this was exciting to run as a runner. I was like, all right, these are some pretty aggressive situations that I'm going into, which we've been trying to practice a little bit more aggressive, kind of push my comfort zone a little bit, getting into the more low percent situations that you find in Spoiler Pilot, and I'm glad we did, because there were some of these situations where it's like, oh, 4-heart Ice Palace, or what was it, like 4 or 5-heart Mothula, and maybe 2 weeks ago I would have told 2C, nope, I don't care where they are, you're finding me. Find me something more for that. But today it was like, no, we're going for it. We're all in.
Yeah, you really showed off some great execution overall in just terms of being on like such low health, because you were running only like 3-4 hearts for I think more of this race. Like you didn't get your 5th and 6th hearts until like you're like in mire basically. So it was really quite a show of just showing like it's tense the whole way, but you can certainly clear this game with not many hearts.
Yeah, Kermit, I'm curious. So we were just discussing before that the biggest things that threw a wrench in our plans were the Cane and Ice Palace that was tough to route around, and then I died once on. Let's see, I failed Ice Palace Bomb Jump twice, and that caused a death. Which actually, yeah, that probably makes the difference between our times.
Yeah,
I'm curious. Were there any execution challenges on your side, or did it go pretty smoothly?
I think I died 4 or 5 times, so...
Okay.
Yeah. I died on Dead Rocks, I died twice in TR, I think. I died at Ganon. Where did I die as well? I don't know. I was so nervous and after the first death, and yeah.
I needed more deaths on Ganon from you.
Oh yeah, we should mention that another kind of the way 2C and I run this format is I don't want to know anything about how the other runner's doing unless I need to know. So 2C was the only one keeping tabs on that.
No, Ray always told me when you guys had problems or when you catched up and stuff.
That's important if you got a freaking nervous runner in front of you.
Yeah.
You can tell him Ice Palace. You can chill if you just win and just finish the seat. You win.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I find it interesting how different runners handle their nerves in different ways. Because like, for me, handling my nerves, it's important that I just focus on my own and don't worry about the other one. So
I don't think
it's
I
interesting.
had any nerves left.
I think one other difference is, besides that, we had a triple dip Skywoods. I think you guys were in the back of Skywoods for the bombos without the sword, right? And that was obviously a big time issue for you guys.
Oh yeah, that hurt a little bit.
It sounds ridiculous if you say you died once in Ice Palace and Kermit says I died 4 or 5 times, but that's one of the small time saves we had additionally, in addition to having a sword for a long time overall.
Yeah, you got the Paradox one, I guess, right? A Spiral one. I don't know how early you guys went up.
Pretty much after the mids.
Yeah, like I figured I was gonna do something like that, but then got a bit greedy, thinking that maybe I can route it with TR, and then as I routed everything, Somehow I got even more greedy. Maybe we can get Bombos and clear Mire together with
Yeah.
Desert.
But
And then
also, don't forget the sword for Mire.
I forgot Somaria as well. Somaria specifically. I was like, oh, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's Samaria. I can imagine you getting to that point in the routing, and you're like, all right, got this figured out. Wait, where's the cane? Oh no.
Yeah, knowing there are not a lot of hearts in the seed and also no mail is a little bit wonky, I'd say.
I think the only way we could have been somewhat in a decent spot was maybe if we could have done swordless IP. But yeah, that's rough.
I don't think anyone
Yes.
wants to really do swordless ice palaces. Like
And-
four
and
four
don't
hearts
forget-
green swordless IP. No, thank you. With not even that much magic restore available, you got like one bottle maybe. Like no, thank you.
Like, in theory, just in theory, if we have the Ice Palace Big Key, we can still finish with Somaria and not using the Ice Palace Bomb Jump, right? But also this Ice Palace Big Key was in Turtle Rock, so that option was not available, just, So you go in there with 4 or 5 hearts, and if you mess up the bomb jump once, you immediately lose 2 hearts, which is super bad. And I don't know, I'm happy we did ice pretty well. Like, I think, Kermit, if anything, I think Ice Palace was pretty good today for you.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, that's like the benefit of old man Kermit, right? Not knowing Icebreaker. He knows Ice Palace Bomb Jump.
Knows it, he knows it.
just put Samaria in Ice Palace, and that's his seed. You're just fine.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I'm really proud of on this seed was after my previous week 2 race against Cho, where I almost lost that. Let's see, I think I won by 3 seconds, and I almost lost because I hadn't practiced Spooky, and so Cho made up, like, I don't know, 12, 15 seconds, however much Spooky saves. He just made up all that time on me and almost caught up as a result. And so after that, I said, no, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm practicing it. I want to be confident in it. And then I got to pull it off in today's race. So I felt good about that. I think that's the first time I've ever done. For me, everyone does Spooky all the time. It's no big deal. But for me, it's like, I got to do Spooky in a Reach race. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do it, so you're not alone. I'm also not good with all the tricks, I guess.
Fun
And
thing
there's-
before we try to go desert, when we flew it away from Skywoods, I realized, oh damn, I forgot Bombos. And that's in front of Morphula, right? In that chest under the bridge. So Kermit actually had to death warp in Mire Shed, or outside Mire Shed, whatever, to use that portal again.
Yeah, like that was I was saying earlier. Like, if you realize you flew it away from Bombos, and you know you have to go get it. Like, if this is the best moment to clean it up, realizing you still have that portal there, like that was just kind of a really good heads up play.
Yeah, best part was when we got Bombos, I thought, oh, finally we've done with Skywoods, and then later I realized, oh no, that Turtle Rock key, the big key chest, I'm so dumb.
Yeah,
Like,
the
no
missing that
X.
key.
Luckily, it was routable with Mire Big Key and Graveyard Legend, so that was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't utterly terrible to go back and get, but yeah, there were this was just a tough seed to figure out. There was just a lot of chances to just miss things, and you realize, oh man, I just wasted a ton of time. I got to go back and get this now.
Yeah, we saw that in yesterday's race when Tusi and Dragon Strike were running, where like Dragon died like two small deaths on Death Mountain or something, and Tusi was pretty much 40 seconds ahead all the time, and until the rest of the seed happened. But like these spoiler keys are close races, specifically if people don't die or die pretty much at the same spots. So yeah, I know it's fun mode.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's
Yeah,
fun
it's
if
really
if you enjoy just just intense, you're always just nail biting, always so close to death all the time. It's so high execution, but it's a lot of fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not my strongest mode, but even though it's a mode that I'm weaker in, it's still one of my favorite. Just really fun and so different than any other mode that I play. So yeah, this was a fun week to practice for, fun race. I'm glad this one was as close as it was. Really, looking forward to watching back the VOD.
Yeah, this was definitely a good show. Again, GG's to all of you. Thanks for putting on a great race for us here. Thank you also to my tracker, Jinxie Girl, keeping the items accurate on screen. Let's see, what do we have coming up today? We have more matches. Let's see. On SG4 here on this channel at 2:30 Eastern, we will have Tile Roomies versus Error 216. And there is a match going on SG3. I'd imagine they're probably done yet. So yeah, stay glued to this channel right here if you want to watch more Spoiler Keys action. 2:30 Eastern. That match will be kicking off relatively soon. I think we're getting ready to wrap up here. Any final thoughts from you four?
Thank God it's over.
Yay, week 4 is over. We can go back to just 10-minute delay, and we're going to go into cross keys. It's a completely different mode. We'll have
nice and easy cross keys.
Yeah. Good luck with the playoff race. We have an interesting one, right? There are like a couple of teams contending for that 4th spot.
Oh yeah, your division is definitely interesting. You've got this 3-way tie for first right now, and then like getting into 12 points, you're just like 2 wins behind that. So it's quite the division. It's really going to be unsure what's happening until we get more development in the later weeks.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Thanks for having us, guys. Always cool to have restream. Thank you guys for tracking, commentating, restreaming. Thanks to Chat. Thanks to Juicy and Krell for a good race again. And see you soon.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on SG4. Again, stay glued for the Tile Roomies versus Error 216 at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, SpeedGaming viewers, take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.